Have you ever felt like the things you do, your little acts of kindness, don't really matter? Maybe you've thought, I just smiled at someone. I just held the door. I just said a kind word. That's nothing compared to people who do big things, like donating thousands of dollars, starting charities, or saving lives. It's easy to think our small actions are just drops in an endless ocean, too tiny to leave a mark. I know I've felt that way, and maybe you have too. But today, I want to share a story with you. A story about a boy named Ethan and his grandpa James, and how a simple lesson changed the way Ethan looked at kindness forever. One summer afternoon, Ethan came home from school, looking upset. He dropped his backpack on the porch and sat down with a sigh. His grandpa, James, was rocking gently in his old wooden chair, the kind that creaked every time it moved. Grandpa James looked over and asked, "What's troubling you, Ethan?" Ethan frowned. "Grandpa, I try to be kind. I hold the door open for people. I share my lunch. I smile at strangers, but it feels so small. Other people are out there doing huge, important things. Compared to them, what I do doesn't matter at all." Grandpa James leaned back, stroking his beard. His eyes twinkled with the wisdom of someone who had seen much in life. After a moment, he said gently, "Ethan, let me tell you a story. It's about the candle and the sun. Long ago, high above the world, the sun shone with all its glory. Its light stretched across fields, towns, and oceans. The sun was proud, for it could touch every corner of the earth. Not far away was a little candle. The candle looked up at the sun and sighed, 'I wish I could shine like you. My flame is tiny, weak, barely strong enough to light one room. What good am I?' The sun laughed proudly. 'You're nothing compared to me. My light covers the whole world. What can you possibly do?' The candle bowed its head in sadness. Maybe the sun was right. Maybe its little flame meant nothing at all." Grandpa paused for a moment, letting the image settle in Ethan's mind. Then he continued, "But one night, a weary traveler found his way to a dark cabin in the woods. The sun could not reach inside. The cabin was cold and empty. The traveler shivered in the shadows until the candle was lit. Its tiny flame filled the room with warmth and comfort. The traveler smiled, feeling safe, seen, and no longer alone. That night, the candle whispered to itself, 'I may not light the whole world, but I can brighten the darkness around me.'" Ethan listened closely. He looked up at his grandpa and asked, "So, even though the candle was small, it still made a difference?" Grandpa James nodded. "Exactly, my boy. Kindness is just like that candle. It may seem small, but to someone standing in the dark, it can mean everything. You don't have to be the sun. Even the smallest flame can guide someone through a hard moment." Ethan tilted his head. "So, even smiling at someone in school, or helping my teacher carry books, that's like lighting a candle." Grandpa James chuckled softly. "Yes, Ethan, and here's the secret. When many candles shine together, they create a glow brighter than the sun itself." From that day on, Ethan began to see kindness differently. He helped his neighbor, Miss Miller, carry her groceries inside when her arms were too full. She thanked him with a warm smile, and Ethan felt his heart glow. At school, he shared his snacks with a friend who had forgotten lunch. His friend's gratitude made Ethan realize his small gesture truly mattered. One day he held the door open for his teacher, who was juggling books and papers. She paused, smiled at him and said, "Thank you, Ethan. That really helped." None of these were grand, heroic acts. They were small, simple things, but each one lit a little flame, just like the candle in his grandpa's story. And little by little, Ethan understood that kindness wasn't measured by size. It was measured by love and consistency. Now let me pause and ask you, have you ever been on the receiving end of a small act of kindness? Maybe a stranger held the door for you when your hands were full. Maybe a friend sent you a text just to check in when you were feeling down. Maybe someone smiled at you when you really needed encouragement. Think about how those small gestures made you feel. Did they seem small in that moment? Or did they brighten your day in ways you didn't expect? That's the power of microkindness. The little things that add up, just like compound interest in a savings account. Tiny deposits made regularly can grow into something powerful. Grandpa James once told Ethan, "Big, grand gestures are beautiful, but they're often rare. People can burn out trying to do too much at once. But small, steady kindness, that can last a lifetime. It's like lighting a candle every day. Over time, you'll fill the world with light." Think about it. If you only focus on grand acts, donating huge sums of money, running a charity event, saving hundreds of lives, you might feel like you can never measure up. But kindness isn't about measuring. It's about showing up consistently in ways that matter to the people around you. Here are some everyday candle flames anyone can share. Writing a quick note of appreciation to a friend, smiling at someone who looks down, offering to listen when someone needs to talk, letting someone go ahead of you in line, sending a kind message just because. Each of these may take only a few seconds, but they can brighten someone's day more than you realize. The beautiful thing about kindness is that it spreads. One small act often inspires another. Ethan once noticed this at school. He picked up a pencil that a classmate dropped and handed it back with a smile. Later that day, he saw that same classmate helping another student clean up spilled papers. One small spark had spread into another flame. That's the ripple effect. Just like when you drop a pebble into water and the circles keep growing outward, your kindness might start small, but its impact can travel farther than you'll ever see. So here's my challenge for you. This week, try lighting one candle each day. Do one small act of kindness. Something so simple that it almost feels too small. But watch what happens. Notice how it makes someone else feel. Notice how it makes you feel. And then I'd love to hear from you. What small acts of kindness have you experienced that made a big difference? Has someone's simple smile, word, or gesture ever changed your whole day? Share your stories in the comments. Let's create a wave of kindness together. As Grandpa James said to Ethan, "You don't have to be the sun, my boy. Just be the candle." Because sometimes, in the darkest places, a small flame means more than the brightest star. And so I'll leave you with this thought. The smallest act of kindness is worth more than the grandest intention. You may never know how far your little flame travels, but you can be sure it leaves light wherever it goes. So light your candle today. Keep it steady, and together we'll brighten the world one small act at a time.